Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, coming to you live from the one, the only Studio K, guys, presented by Circle K themselves. Head to any Circle K Arizona location where you can get any size Polar Pop or Frosted for just 79 cents now through September 3rd. I am Anthony Totri.
There you are.
This guy over here, that's Erik Ruby. This guy over here, that is Shane Dieffenbach. Danielle is in the back making all the magic happen. Guys, do us a solid. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Gentlemen.
Hi.
I feel like it's been a minute for you, Shane.
I wasn't here on Friday.
You were in, was it just
like
Friday? Was it just Friday?
Yeah.
It does feel longer than that, though, does it not?
Yeah, it like 6 or 7 months, maybe.
Yeah.
It's been like a whole fortnight since we saw you last.
No. It was 3 days. I was in Vegas for the NHL draft, so that was fun. But I'm back now and just have a nice week before I return to Vegas for a whole week. Actually, over a week, 8 days.
Yeah, because we've got Big 12 Media Day, which we'll talk about the ASU folks heading to Big 12 Media Day. And then
me and the Rubes.
You
were gone all of last week. So we've developed a better rapport, and now he's the Rubes to me.
He's the Rubes to you.
Yeah.
What's he to you?
Oh, he's just the Dief.
He's just the Dief.
The Rubes and the Dief.
What did we call you? I gotta have it locked and loaded.
Matter.
Dr. Danish. That's what it was.
I don't like it.
Really?
No, not right now at least.
Oh, that's fair.
Just give it like a month.
Okay, we'll give it some time. We'll bring it back.
Yeah, me and the Rubes will be at Summer League after Big 12 Media Day, and so we get to stay in Vegas.
We have a residency.
We have a 1-day break where there's no media.
Do we?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we will be doing media.
Yeah.
We'll be taking questions and.
Oh, like personally, you guys will be doing.
I think we're just gonna set up shop. Just at like.
Yeah, I like the corner of Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. And just rip.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. We got Sweet Prince Kenny in the chat. We got Chad Johnson in the chat. Of course, the one only Ochocinco himself. We got Erica. We got Blake. Again, guys, hit that like button. We appreciate you taking time out of your day, whether you are watching live or listening on audio. We got Lonnie in here with a $2 super chat. Welcome to the Big 12 ASU. It is official. July 1st. Marks the first day that Arizona State, Arizona, Colorado, and Utah are now officially a part of the Big 12. And on the flip side of that, no longer a part of the Pac-12. Did any of you guys watch last night the final hoorah on Pac-12 Network?
No, I didn't. What were they doing?
I respect the people that did. I mean, it was a little sad. It was like they got turned off. Did you see the video?
I saw there was a full 6-minute video that they did.
I'll show you the thing. I'll find the thing that I saw. We can get it up. Sorry, I thought you would. Okay, it's pretty awesome.
There was a full 6-minute video that they had played, kind of like what's the best way to describe it? Of like the championship memories, championship montage,
just best moments.
Yeah. The very first show that they ever did.
Interesting.
All that, and then they did a bunch of closing credits, and then it literally just kind of turned off.
It just went black.
Yeah, pretty much. It a fade to black, and then it was like I had
thanks
seen
for
people. Well, not even a thanks for watching. And then it was like anytime you'd go to the channel, it'd be like that it doesn't exist anymore. It's out of service or something like that.
So now it says this channel is no longer available effective June 30th, 2024. The Pac-12 networks have ceased operation.
Where am I going to watch my Washington State games?
As if it was available prior. Right?
It was available. It just wasn't showing anything you needed.
Yeah, that's fair. So now that news also came out today. I believe they that conference is partnered with TNT or something like that. So some of those games are going to be streamed on TNT or something like that. So yeah, but Pac-12 also, the website is officially removed the former schools. It feels like it's not petty, right? Because they moved on, but it does feel like a little bit of like a breakup between these schools in the conference.
It's a little sad. Like,
it's over. We're moving on.
Like you knew it was coming, you saw it coming, but then when it actually happens, you're like, oh yeah, oh man, they're no longer together. That sucks.
They're no longer together. I mean, that's pretty much what it was, right? Like And we've talked about the move to the Big 12 for so long now that today for us, it doesn't really do a whole lot.
It didn't really hit hard.
But I do think there are people out there that don't consume as much like sports information as we do every single day. That for them, like today is a meaningful day, right? Today is like, this is it. We're no longer a part of the Pac-12. We are members of the Big 12. And for Arizona State, that's obviously something that is a new era, right? A new moment, I guess.
So Donald brings up in the chat, Pac-12 After Dark. I have a theory that the Pac-12 teams are going to bring the After Dark to the Big 12.
To their own conferences?
Like, thankfully, not time-wise anymore. There's not going to be an 8:30 p.m. kickoff in Pullman. But you will still get some weird magic. You know, Bobby Hurley's teams are still going to do weird things when it's 9:30 on a Monday night, and you got it. You're playing at Fog, and all of a sudden, literal fog is in the arena, and Wizards and all that.
Wizards.
That's sometimes what it felt like.
Pac-12 After Dark was, I mean, a staple of just college football and college basketball, I guess, in general. Like, it is the only thing, I think, for a while now that other fan bases appreciated about this conference.
Yeah, it was the wackiness.
Yeah.
But it was also because it's like the only thing that was on. So,
but they made it more than that, right? Because it could have just been, it's the game that's on.
Oh, yeah.
But people are like, oh, it's the game that's on. Like, it's about to get weird, and they're going to cannibalize themselves, which is entertaining for everybody but the team that gets beat. And like, if we're talking like favorite like memories, I do think that's going to be like not that just a specific game, but that After Dark mentality and that vibe around the Pac-12 will always be the main thing that I personally remember.
Where it's just like anything can happen.
Anything, and that was the thing is like, even when your team was like not great, you can go into any game and be like, why couldn't we upset a top 10 team in the nation right now? You saw in football
last year with Washington and Arizona State.
You almost pulled it off.
Yeah. That's Pac-12 After Dark. Do we have that video that you were sent, Shane? Here?
Yeah, this is the Pac-12 logo turning off for good. This is how they ended everything. It was very sad. It's for those listening on audio, it is legitimately just a Pac-12 logo on a blue background as the Pac-12 logo slowly fades into nothingness.
Oh my gosh.
Why am I getting like slightly emotional?
Yeah, well, I mean.
Oh no! Don't go.
Oh my gosh! It is slowly starting to
don't
fade.
Go.
Did you think I was just lying to you?
No, I didn't. I didn't know if it faded to black. I'm pretty sure it fades to black though here, right at a certain point. Or we're just gonna stare at a blue screen. Is that what the Pac-12 network did?
Why was that like shockingly like depressing?
Well, yeah, I mean it's
death.
It is death.
It's over.
I don't know how else you end a conference.
Is that what it's like to die? You just slowly fade into a gray background.
But the screen continues.
This video is from Bob Condota on Twitter, Seattle reporter.
Gotcha. Lonnie Johnson again with the $2 super chat in the chat. Big 12 After Dark. Does it have the same ring? It doesn't have the same ring to it though. Big 12 After Dark.
I mean, you're literally changing.
Just one word.
Yeah.
Well, just wait until they put the sponsor in there. Then it'll really.
There you go.
It'll really come together.
Shane, what was your favorite memory in the Pac-12? If you can pick one specifically.
I feel like we've done this so many times.
I know, but again, today's a different. It's a different day. It's a new beginning.
You go first since you asked the question.
My favorite Pac-12 memory, I'd say my most recent one is probably covering an Arizona State UCLA basketball game that we did a few years back, and that going into triple overtime. That basketball game, and that was an After Dark game.
Yeah, then they lost.
Yeah, but it was still fun.
That was amazing, but they lost.
It was a great game.
Very sad.
It was at DFA too.
Well, I mean, everybody. The easy answer is the Cambridge half-court winner.
Ooh, yeah,
that was After Dark as well.
That's a great one.
Even more recently was the football game that had a Haboob thunderstorm cancel or postponed for 3 hours, and we were here until 1 a.m.
Was that a good one? That was a good memory for you?
I mean, that was mayhem at its finest.
It was definitely memorable.
Washington. This is before Totri was even here. I was covering the Washington ASU game. I was in Tucson. For my buddy had like a. It doesn't matter why I was there, actually. I was in Tucson. And I was at an Airbnb, and I was alone at the Airbnb because everyone else had gone out. And I was like, oh, yeah, I should be done by 10. It was like 12:30 by the time I left the Airbnb. It was the Rashad White, like 300 all-purpose yard game where he basically won us that game in Seattle. That was a very fun one.
I had fun at the Territorial Cup in Tucson that we covered a couple years ago. That game ended in like a brawl. A bunch of people got ejected. They lost that game. But
what is up with you?
No, it wasn't just like the game itself, but just the entirety of that. Like
watching people dip ranch or their cookies in ranch.
Yeah, that was still to this day one of the craziest things ever. But that was the last game where Sean Aguano was interim head coach, and there was like a change of like, okay, like we're gonna be getting an official head coach here soon. And that'll change the vibes of everything. And obviously, Kenny Dillingham was named the head coach just a couple days after that. Elijah Badger called Shane Goofy. All sorts of things. That was just
he called our Twitter account Goofy, not me specifically.
I'd like to think,
and not as an adjective, as a noun.
Yeah,
he called me Goofy, like the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick one, though, it's the Jaden Daniels to Brandon Ayuk to beat Oregon on 3rd and 17. That's just so burned into my memory. It was like 9:30 p.m. I want to say, super late game, and I was at the cottages, as I've told the story before, and then we went out after. It's like very college.
Yeah, I think I was at Sun Bar when that was happening. Or no, not Sun Bar.
Sun Bar wasn't a thing yet.
No. There was a bar that on Mill or right off of Mill by the Old Fuzzies it's closed now.
Ted's.
I don't remember. Was it Ted's?
Ted's was awesome.
It might have been Ted's. They have like a bunch of games or stuff outside? No? They had something outside.
Oh, yeah. No, Ted's did have games. They had beer pong. They had Jenga. They had Ted's. Ted's was the best. Ted's, not only was it just like a vibe. One, it was a vibe. Two, it was co-owned by one of my fraternity brothers' dads. So we got crazy discounts. 3, one of the only like dive bar-ish places that I've been to that has a hot sake machine. So I would just get sake bombs there, which would lead to many a drunken night. Really bad. It's Tuesday. Let's go to Ted's for a couple beers. Sake bomb! That place was amazing. Damn it.
That's where I was for that. That's where I was for
that place was awesome. Yeah, they had pool in the back.
Yeah. No, I was an elite bar.
What the hell, Tempe?
I was an elite bar.
How is that gone now?
Oh, God. Well, COVID probably, right? Or did it close before COVID?
I think it closed before that.
Yeah. What about you, Rubes?
Where was I for that? I was heavily intoxicated at a house party covering the game from
covering the game.
Covering
the game heavily intoxicated.
Running the social media for a certain club. Covering the game and having many deleted tweets with spelling errors.
Oh my God.
And watching the game from a group of people and being like, crap, I have to tweet about this. I don't know what to say.
Was I the only one that was at that game?
You might have been.
You might have been.
What was your experience like at that game?
That was fun. I stormed the field. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
It just pains me that it happened against Justin Herbert now. You know?
Oh, stop.
Now
it means nothing to you.
Now it pains me. But look, Pac-12 After Dark officially dead. Okay,
they've officially killed the history of the Pac-12 too.
Yeah, it's no longer on the website, right?
Click history of the Pac-12. It says this site can't be reached.
That's crazy.
That's sad.
George Kliavkov is so petty.
This is
all George's fault. It's all George's fault. And Larry. George and Larry.
It's Larry's fault.
George and Larry, but Larry.
We should have known. I'm sure I brought this up prior, but I have to every time that we mention those two. The fact that they thought it was going to work with a man named George and Larry in charge is crazy. Crazy. Is it not? Okay, do you know Larry that runs anything?
Is Brett that much better?
Yes.
I don't think it is.
I think it is. Brett has some sort of like authority to
Big Daddy Ormark.
Larry has no authority. Neither does George. But
I think George has more authority than Larry.
There's been some powerful Georges.
There has been some powerful
You're right. There has been some powerful Georges.
Who's the most powerful Larry of all time?
Fitzgerald.
Yeah. The lobster.
Yeah. People sleep on Larry the lobster for sure. Look, guys, we're going to continue talking Big 12 here in a second. Do some Big 12 power rankings.
Larry Johnson, was that his name?
Yeah, for the Hornets.
No. Larry, the Bucks. He played for like 3 years. He was unbelievable.
Sanders.
Larry Sanders, dude.
Yeah, and then he left basketball for mental health.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a mental health thing.
Never mind.
He was cold. He was cold.
He was amazing.
He was cold for sure.
Holy smokes.
Name of dudes. Larry Sanders.
Yeah. Dude. For like 3 years.
He
was
was really cold.
10 center in the NBA.
We're just throwing
Larry Sanders and
ripping on
Larry Sanders and Michael Redd, just buckets. I don't even think they played together. I think Michael Redd was probably before his time. Anyway,
look, If you are celebrating Arizona State's move to the Big 12, or if you want to drink your sorrows away, there is a great place to do it and a great event going on over at Four Peaks tonight. We're having a PHNX U.S. Men's National watch party at Four Peaks. I know Max is going to be there.
It's the United States Men's National Party.
Yeah, it's just USA. USA.
Yeah,
you know?
United States Men's National Team Party.
Yeah.
It's for soccer or football. So it's for soccer. And it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Max is buying beers.
Fun. Oh yeah, beers on Max?
Yeah, beers on Max.
Love that. Also, I'm upset because I haven't had the chicken tendies in such a long time.
Yeah.
At Four Peaks. Have you had the chicken tendies?
I have not had the chicken tendies at Four Peaks either.
That's insane.
Gosh. They are top 2. And they're not 2 when it comes to chicken tendies.
I need them right
in the
now.
Valley. But not just great food, great vibes, and of course, great drinks over at Four Peaks. Visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all your favorite beers and events. Check out at Four Peaks Brewer, at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You do got to be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please enjoy responsibly.
Clint says Larry Bird. Yeah.
David says my grandpa Larry.
That's also a great Larry.
David, that is...
That was honestly the one I was thinking
That's a powerful Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, your grandpa Larry. It's a big guy.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. You want to drink responsibly when you're using Four Peaks, but you also want to bank responsibly. And that's why you want to use our friends over at Desert Financial Credit Union, the official retail banking partner of Arizona State University. And for more than 84 years, DFCU has been Arizona's largest and most trusted local credit union, dedicated to making your life better. Plain and simple. And how many places are going to actually make your life better by giving you free money? Not many. Not many places, except for Desert Financial Credit Union, because right now, if you open up a free checking account online, you can get $200 for free slid right in there, and you can spend it using your one of 3 custom Arizona State University Visa debit card designs. And if for some reason you don't want to do an ASU design and you just want a nice mountainscape or something like that, or something Cardinals related to, they have all of that for you at Desert Financial Credit Union. Just go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started. Get that $200 for free.
Chad also in the chat. Also, hockey officially joins the NCHC today.
Yep, another conference change. That's really exciting. We talked about it at length. We're going to be heavily involved in coverage of that team this year, more so than last year. So it should be really exciting.
Yeah, definitely an exciting season for Greg Powers and ASU Hockey ahead. Yeah,
we mentioned how many guys they got in recruiting, how many big names they got in recruiting, but also how many guys they were able to retain in the transfer portal. I think there's some pretty big news coming with the coaching staff here soon also, which is exciting. Craig wrote a great article in Colton Potter and the recruitment of him. And this team should be really good. Plus the schedule is just ridiculous. I mean, they get Michigan at home. The NCHC is, as I said, the SEC of hockey. Like it's going to be elite.
Absolutely. Again, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, go to the tweet below. Drop the link to YouTube. Join that. Come join the conversation over on YouTube. And again, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Boys, now we are officially in the Big 12. I feel like it's only fair that we kick things off with some Big 12 power rankings. Okay, we're talking football here. And Eric, me and Shane have done a ton of power rankings. We used to power rank when we were in the Pac-12, shed a tear. The 12th team we just kind of removed, and we just power ranked something else pretty much. Like, what were some examples? We had like Bubbles was in there one time. The Scrub Daddy was at one point power ranked in the Pac-12. But I want to start with your first ever Big 12 power rankings.
Yeah,
so who is your Scrub Daddy?
My Scrub Daddy is at the top or the bottom?
Bottom.
The very bottom?
Yeah.
The bottom, I believe.
Yeah, Houston.
Yeah.
I think
Houston.
Everybody probably has Houston. No. Wow.
It was between Houston and Cincinnati for me, but I ended up with Houston.
Anyway, let's look at your power rankings.
Yeah. So listen, I got Houston last. I look at this as like clusters almost, where there are groups.
There are 12 clusters.
There are groups of teams that I feel like the margins are very thin, and then there's tiers within the power ranking. This is deep, right? So my first cluster, I got Utah at 1, Kansas State at 2, Kansas at 3, Arizona at 4, Oklahoma State at 5, Iowa State at 6. Those
you think that 6 is a cluster?
I think those 6 are a cluster.
That's fair.
I think I do definitely feel like the margins between Arizona, Kansas, Kansas State, Utah, if you want to even separate that. But I think Oklahoma State and Iowa State are better than the next couple of teams I'm going to list. West Virginia, I think, is a dark horse, but I still need to see more from them. UCF coming in at 8, TCU at 9, Texas Tech at 10, Colorado 11, Arizona State at 12, BYU at 13, Baylor at 14, Cincinnati at 15, Houston at 16. I would say that middle cluster goes from West Virginia to Colorado, and then ASU to Houston is that last one.
I see a lot of West Virginia hype. Why are you so excited about West Virginia?
I just feel like when you come off of a season like last year, where
they overachieved like a mofo.
They were predicted to be the worst team in the conference, and they ended up winning a bowl game.
Yeah, their coach was in a hot seat,
right? And so to be able to capitalize on that momentum, obviously it doesn't always happen, but I do think there's something to be said when you're returning a lot of players from a team that was kind of like that. And why wouldn't you have the confidence to go in and be just as good? And now maybe teams are actually going to be expecting them, and it's not this massive jump, which is why I'm not going to put them in the top 5 or the top 3 or anything like that. But I think they'll be one of the better teams in this conference.
Who do you think is a team that could underperform this year?
Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing is, we have to weigh our expectations and what we believe them to be, which is a lot lower than national.
Yeah, so you're saying underperform national.
Underperform national, it's 1,000% Colorado. I mean, I know that it's not the end all be all, and we've talked about it, but the fact that they're one of the top 15 teams in EA.
Yeah, they're 16 overall.
College football 25.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. And the expectations internally with them as well is just, hey, we're gonna compete for a college football playoff spot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to be getting a bowl game. You're going to be fighting for it, but I think out of all of them, maybe TCU, but I'll go with Colorado.
What about you, Shane? What do you have for your Big 12 power rankings?
Mine's a little different than yours. Your guys's. So if we're going to the bottom, both of you guys have Houston at the bottom. Houston last year was so bad, and they kind of had to rearrange their entire team, but they also brought in Tulane's head coach, who knows how to change things around a little bit. So I'm not super low on this team as much as everybody else is. That being said, I think 14, 15, 16 are all very bad football teams. I have Baylor twice up there. What happened? Who's missing? That's supposed to be UCF at 12. So UCF is at 12, just behind Arizona State. This is where things get a little weird. I'm not really sure where to put Arizona State, because as we've talked to Kenny about this, this team, on paper has gotten better, but we don't know what this team's going to look like until they play a football game this year, a real football game this year. So I don't really know what to think of this team. They can be anywhere from 8 to 16 in my mind. A lot of places in doing research for getting the gauge of the national media have ASU at 16. They have them at the last place in the conference, which, again, I don't think it's that disrespectful given what's going on here, but you just don't, you don't really, they can't see what we're seeing. So,
yeah.
And at the same time, it's hard to know what this team's going to look like when they're actually playing. And then at my top, I have Kansas higher than both of you guys. I really think Kansas is going to be look, the big thing is Jalen Daniels' health, obviously, but this team has been very, very, very good in the past 3 years. And I think that Jalen, who is in his last year of eligibility, hopefully can stay healthy, knock on wood, and surprise some people. Obviously, Utah, the top spot. Big 12 is about to F around and find out about Kyle Whittingham and Cam Rising, who is there for his 19th season. Get a job. Actually, no. Cam Rising can stay in college football forever. Arizona's 4 for me. Oklahoma State. There's not really any big surprises in the middle, except for Colorado.
Yeah, Sweet Prince Kenny.
Talk to me about Colorado, because Sweet Prince Kenny in the chat with a $1.99 super chat saying, Shane, how dare you put CU at 7? Are you kidding me?
So Colorado is different from every other team in the middle of the pack. From 5 through 12, you look at mine. You get Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Colorado Tech, West Virginia, TCU, ASU, Baylor. Colorado, the thing that they have differently from all of those middle teams is they have the best player of all those teams. I think Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter could both be the best player on any of those teams. Maybe Ollie Gordon, give or take. But they have stars. They legitimately have stars, and they have really high-end talent. Their offensive line got a lot better. I don't think they're going to be that bad this year, guys. I really don't think they're going to be that bad. I think they could underperform because people are giving them expectations super high, but I don't think they're going to be that bad. So I have them at 7.
Guess we'll see. Guess we will see. I agree.
Also, Cincinnati is terrible. I don't understand how anybody has them anything above 14, 13.
I don't think I have Cincinnati. I think I have Cincinnati at 15, but let's go ahead and see. This is what I've got for my Big 12 power rankings. So, yeah, from top to bottom, I've got Utah atop the conference. Kyle Whittingham is just a masterclass of a coach, and I think year over year, people just disrespect and underappreciate what he's done at Utah for the last, 20 years. Saw the news today that they've already kind of got a coach in waiting for when Whittingham does decide to hang it up. But you get Cam Rising back. That's a program that's built in the trenches. So I think Utah is going to win this conference. I got Kansas State at 2, Kansas at 3. I'm kind of with you, Shane. Jalen Daniels can be an X factor this season. I know somebody had it in the chat, Glenn, saying Kansas might be last year's Washington Penix led. I think Jalen Daniels is as talented of a quarterback as Michael Penix Jr. was at Washington.
Whoa!
But he's got to stay healthy.
They're really different. I mean,
he's got to stay healthy.
They're the same in that regard, but yeah, I mean, I guess overall wise, maybe. Yeah,
they are different quarterbacks.
Not play style, but like success.
Yeah, I think just pure talent. I think Jalen Daniels is a really, really talented quarterback.
Jalen Daniels doesn't have anywhere near the arm that Michael Penix had.
Yeah, we will see. We will see.
He's still alive and throwing the football.
Oh no, he's with the Atlanta Falcons. So
yeah, you're right. So his career is over. It's over for sure. So yes, I have Kansas at 3. I've got Iowa State at 4. I believe that's the highest anybody has Iowa State out of the 3 of us. Rocco Beck, their quarterback from last season, returns. He was an absolute stud.
Freaking stud.
He was a stud last season. Matt Campbell, I believe, is one of the longest, if not the longest, tenured coach in the Big 12. That has been a part of the Big 12, obviously Whittingham over at Utah. I've got Arizona at 5. As much as people, myself included, would like to see the Wildcats fail and drown, it helps when you have Noah Fafita and T-Mac. Again, T-Mac, one of the best players, one of the best wide receivers in the nation this season. So I do think they drop off a little bit. They're not a 10-win team.
Got to stay healthy, though.
They do got to stay healthy. I do think they're certainly a team that's capable of being in the upper echelon of this conference.
Yeah, I mean, I had them top 4 also. It's just, it's the health factor for T-Mac. The foot injury has been bothering him. We haven't really seen anything from him yet. He was put on the Big 12 Media Day slate, so he is expected to play this year. That's not what I'm saying by any means, but he, that's a big part of it.
Oh yeah,
and a new coach. I mean,
yeah,
you don't know what really to expect. Obviously, it's not his first time coaching, but you can't go out there and confidently say he's going to come in and tear it up and be amazing. You have to see it first.
As much as they hate Jedd Fisch, he helped them.
He's a good coach.
So yes, Arizona at 5. Oklahoma State at 6. Interested to see the quarterback situation this season. I believe Alan Bowman is returning for Oklahoma State. I know at the start of last season they were just a carousel of quarterbacks, but they do have Ollie Gordon, who is one of the best players in all of college football, in my opinion. I think he will certainly be in contention for a Heisman at some point this season. Whether at the end of the season he is actually on stage, kind of wait and see. But he is that good of a player.
Alan Bowman is coming back. It's his 7th.
Yeah, he's been playing college football a long time. Go ahead, Eric.
Get a job.
There you go. I got UCF at 7. They've got themselves former Arkansas quarterback KJ Jefferson. Interested to see kind of how he joins that roster. Obviously,
disgusted in you.
UCF in terms of recruiting over the last couple of years has definitely been trending upward. I've got West Virginia at 8, Texas Tech at 9.
Can we talk about West Virginia for a second?
You want to talk about West Virginia? Let's talk
because both of you guys have them pretty high. Do you not remember the conversation we had about West Virginia last year? They were the team that had nobody do anything good, and they won 9 games.
Yeah, but I feel like that kind of says something, no?
No, it says nothing. It says they won.
That they got lucky?
Yes.
You don't get lucky 9 games of college football.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't think so.
No, not
That's a lot of games.
I mean, they
had no rusher. I got to pull it up again.
I do remember the really weird stat.
They had no rusher over 800 yards, and they had no receiver over 501 yards. That's disgusting.
It's weird. But look, I think, where do I have them? At 8?
Yeah.
At 8? So middle of the pack in this conference.
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think they get much higher, to be honest with you. I don't think they'll pass in Oklahoma State. I don't think they ever get to 6. I could see them being pretty low in this conference as well. I think that's probably the team, though, that could have the highest ceiling, lowest floor out of some of these teams.
West Virginia?
Yeah.
I feel like their ceiling is lower. I feel like it's the other way around.
Out of middle of the pack teams?
I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like they have.
Wouldn't Colorado have the highest ceiling?
I think Colorado probably has the highest ceiling out of middle of the pack teams, just because if everything does go right with them. But with West Virginia, I feel like it's more like they're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be a bad team. I don't think there's an outcome here where they're one of the worst teams in the Big 12. But I also don't see an outcome where they're one of the best teams. I think they're more likely to be on the upper end of the middle of the pack.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. So let's see. Who do I have at 9? Texas Tech. Shout out Jalen Conyers. Colorado at 10. Colorado at 10. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. 2 of the best players in the conference. 2 of the best players in the country. But I don't necessarily believe in Dion as a coach. And I don't necessarily know if I'm all in on that roster. So they could say they got better. We will see it on the field, as we will with the rest of these teams. But any opportunity to put Colorado lower in the rankings, I will absolutely take, because I'm still not sold on them. I'm still not sold on Colorado. I wasn't sold on them last year. Again, you could say they got better. Maybe they did on paper. But now you are entering a different realm. There's a lot more teams in this conference, and there's a lot of talent. Especially up at the top of this conference.
At what point would you believe in Colorado? How far into the season and how successful do they have to be for you to be like, you know what? Maybe everybody else was right.
Who are their first 2 conference games?
I don't know.
This season?
Look up their schedule.
I know in non-conference, I believe they have North Dakota State, and I know they have Nebraska.
So, yeah, North Dakota State, Nebraska, Colorado State, Baylor, UCF, Kansas State are their
If you go into that Kansas State game undefeated, then...
So if they have Kansas State and Arizona in back-to-back weeks,
I'll
those 2 games...
I'll sit up in my chair if
they win those games?
Not win those games, but if you're undefeated, getting ready to take on a Kansas State, again, all that shows me is that you've taken care of business, that you've won the games that you are supposed to win, right?
Right.
And I think at that point, then it's like, okay, we'll see what you do against a Kansas State and an Arizona if you.
I think they'd have to take one of those. They'd have to take one of those games because you think back to last season, like they started off great too, right? And then they started playing.
Yeah.
If you're CU, you just pray to God you beat NDSU or Totri is coming.
Oh yeah, you're done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the internet. Yeah. I'm going to be relentless all season long. Just going to leave it at that. I do have Arizona State right behind Colorado at 11. I believe in this roster. I think it's an improved roster from last year. However, I'm more interested to see about Sam Leavitt in this quarterback competition, whether it's him, whether it's Sims. I don't know. I don't know what this quarterback room is going to totally look like. Or Bourguet.
You just counting him out.
Or Navi.
You dropped Sims, but not Bourguet.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Dropping Sims, but not Bourguet.
It's a quarterback carousel. I think Leavitt is going to be the starter. I genuinely do. And if this team can have one quarterback from start of the season to the end of the season, then I think Arizona State is in a position to win a bowl game or to qualify to be in a bowl game.
Yeah,
But we'll see. The quarterback situation hasn't really been anything great over the last couple seasons.
You're hoping that you find gold, but
I don't even need gold. I'll take silver.
DJ Freeman. Yeah.
I'll take silver.
Glenn asking, why are some of your rankings on projections not sold on Colorado, but we're sold on Utah being number 1? I don't know what that really means.
I don't know why we wouldn't be high on Utah. Like,
I don't understand the question.
Why are some of your rankings
based on
some of your rankings on projections not sold on Colorado, but we're sold on Utah being number 1? Like, why are we projecting Utah to be the number 1 team?
But we're not sold on Colorado, is what you're saying?
I would say there's a lot more history.
Well, one is overall continued success from Utah.
Yeah.
And one is overall roster turnover on Colorado. It's uncertainty, but I think I'm more a little more on your side with Colorado.
Yeah, he's higher on Colorado than either of us.
I mean, I think that Colorado out of every team has the most opportunity to move up. I'm just not comfortable being in a position saying that that's going to happen. Yeah,
it's not.
That's the thing is like even if they're undefeated up to Kansas State and Arizona, it's like besides UCF, those are all games that they should win. Yes, and people are saying NDSU plays tough football. Colorado State will play them hard too.
Dude, I hope they lose that game.
But those are teams they should beat. They should beat North Dakota State. They should beat Nebraska. They should beat Colorado State. They should beat Baylor. UCF is where things get a little bit more interesting, but if the hype is real around Colorado, they should beat UCF as well.
Yeah, it's also even if they're undefeated by that, or even if they're not undefeated by that time, it just depends on how they're playing, what they look like, what this team looks like, or even if they're undefeated at that time. Like if they're if they look like the same team as last year, then no. But you just never know. Glenn saying Cam might not be Cam anymore. The power of Whit. I mean, yeah, Whittingham is going to translate in this conference. The Cam Rising question is a fair one. I mean, the dude is on the wrong side of 30, and he's older, but also the ACL. Like, we didn't see him at all last year. We thought there was a chance he might play middle of the season, end of the season, and you didn't see him at all. Like, the knee was a lot worse than everybody thought. So yeah, it's a fair question. But
still the best hair in the conference.
Yeah. Well, we don't know yet.
Is he going to Big 12 Media Day? He's got to, right?
There's no way he's not.
He's got to.
So if we're talking like ceilings and floors and stuff, especially like with Colorado, but over to Utah, out of the top 4 or 5 teams, do they have the highest ceiling? Or are they just because like I think Kansas
has the highest ceiling.
I think Kansas State has a higher ceiling, and possibly
I don't know about
possibly Arizona.
We're talking overall on like
just
a national...
overall like who. Like with you, I think Utah is probably the safest bet to win the conference, but I don't think that they have like if everything goes right for Utah and everything goes right for Kansas, I think Kansas is a better team. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes and no, because if everything goes right for Utah, it means they're completely healthy. Cam Rising is even better than he was before. Their brand of football translates really well to the Big 12, and the type of football they play is really tough, which means they can kind of compete with any style, which means that they could make some noise in the college football playoff because let's not forget the expansion this year.
Yeah. God, I'm so excited.
Kansas is the only reason why I think they might have higher upside than Utah and probably do is because Jalen Daniels' ceiling is higher than Cam Rising's.
Agreed.
Probably. But I don't know. And Kansas, I think, can take a bigger step forward than Utah can.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I forgot Dorian Singer.
Yeah.
Is
Utah's very young.
Utah now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see the rest of my my power rankings. I know Arizona State at 11, TCU at 12, Baylor at 13, BYU, Cincinnati, and Houston in that order from 14 to 16. You could shuffle any of those 3 at the bottom, and I really don't care. I think they're all pretty bad this season. But we will see. I know, again, a lot of people not giant fans of Cincinnati or Houston this season.
And unfortunately, a lot of people nationally kind of mentioned this before, not big fans of ASU. And ASU, like for all of us, much higher in our rankings than most people have. And they're too early Big 12 rankings. So
yeah,
we'll see. Lots can change.
Yeah, fall camp's right around the corner, man. Can you believe it? Fall camp, Camp Tontozona, August 10th. I believe the 7th through the 10th is when they're having that whole camp. So before you know it, I think there's 61 days till kickoff as it stands right now. So a lot is going to happen here in the next couple of months. So definitely make sure that you are subscribed to PHNX Sports. So you got the notifications on anytime any of these shows go live, whether it's PHNX Sun Devils, Wildcats, Cardinals, Suns, PHNX Hockey. We have everything under the sun here at PHNX Sports. Also, your daily reminder to head over to gophnx.com. Click the little diehard tab. It's going to tell you everything that you unlock when you become a PHNX diehard. Eric.
Yes.
For everybody at home.
Okay.
When they click that diehard tab and it tells them everything that they're going to unlock.
Yeah.
What exactly are they getting?
Well, this is a little bit of everything. You want access to our diehard Discord lounge where we come in and chop it up with all of the biggest ASU fans out there, including some that you find in this chat. You also get a free t-shirt or just piece of merch, so hats and stuff apply as well, every single year from our locker. And we have some fire new merch that just dropped. You get access to all of our premium written content, and you also get additional video content as well. There are audio-only episodes for all of our shows, including Behind Enemy Lines, which you and Mike Luke of the Wildcats podcast do every week now. You're going to get video for that. So if you like to watch your podcast, you get that for free if you are a diehard, and you get discounts to all of our events, and you get an ad-free experience on the website, which I know a lot of people really appreciate that. And plus more, we're always adding stuff. We're always doing more. So what don't you get, really?
You're right. You're right. Look, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our friends over at Circle K. This is officially Studio K, if you couldn't tell by the lovely Circle K sign that we have in the back. We also have a ton of Circle K snacks on the cart behind me, and they've got even more Circle K snacks in all of their Arizona locations, and there is a bunch of them. So they've got Great snacks. They've got a great deal on gas to help you guys save money. All you got to do is sign up for the new free membership program, Inner Circle. You're going to save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, and then every day after that, you're going to be able to save 3 cents per gallon as well, and enjoy your member-exclusive beverage deal with Inner Circle. They're going to help you get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents now through September 3rd at any Arizona location. Super easy to find. Just find it in the app under Inner Circle and offers. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
Yep, and I was in Vegas this weekend. It's even like drier there somehow.
Really?
Oh my god.
Were the stars out in Vegas?
No,
not really.
Shane was there, so.
But
you're right.
I mean, the NHL draft was there, so yes. There were a lot of NHL players there and NHL staff. But I also was able to see the Sphere, which was insane. And sometimes I felt like I needed sunglasses in there, but I didn't because, it was bright, but it wasn't that bright. But it was very bright outside. And for that, I wore my Shady Rays. Guys, if you need sunglasses, Shady Rays is the only place to do it. Plus, they have their new, it's actually not even new anymore. It's been up for over a year now. The Shady Ray location in Kierland, in Scottsdale, super cool place. I wear Shady Rays while I'm driving, while I'm working, because they have the blue light glasses, while I'm doing a ton of things. And you, our listeners, exclusively can get the best deal of the season that Shady Rays is giving out. Head over to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
I was rocking my Shady Rays all weekend long. I was out golfing Saturday, Sunday. Had to have those things on. And I still got, I was so burned after the round I played on Saturday. It was not pretty.
Yeah.
No, I was as red probably as the light on there. It was tough. It was really tough. But look, we've already kind of mentioned you got Big 12 Media Day next week in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. We're all going.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be an absolute blast. We're going to get the chance, obviously, to talk to Kenny Dillingham once again, a friend of the program. And also the players have been announced. We kind of knew the players going into it, but you will have Arizona State running back, Cam Skattebo. You're going to have Arizona State center, Leif Fautanu. You are going to have edge rusher, Clayton Smith. And you are also going to have my personal favorite, safety Xavion Alford, is going to be out in Vegas as well. So we're going to get the chance to talk to all of these guys out there. And we've talked to Leif. We've had, again, Kenny on the show, but the others, right? Scat, Clayton, and X, we haven't talked to in quite some time. I know we talked to X a little bit in the spring and Scat as well, but I feel like at that point, right, next week, we will be just a few weeks away from fall camp starting, Big 12 setting in. Like, next week is going to be the prime time to get everything that you need for the Big 12 season ahead. For you, Eric, this is this will be your first time heading out there for Media Day. What are you looking forward to most?
I feel like I'm excited, obviously, to talk to our players, everything like that, but to learn about everything else and all these other dynamics and teams and players from the Big 12 and just kind of get a lay of the land of everything. Especially I like hearing other guys' personalities and the way that they talk and everything like that. And so I'm excited just to get a little bit deeper into just Big 12 in general. But I'm also, I'm super excited to hear from X and Cam too. But I think X is the guy I'm looking at. I'm like, I'm very interested in what you have to say.
Yeah,
going into this
100-yard landlord, baby.
Yeah, I hope that Scat's not wearing shoes.
You hope that he's not wearing shoes.
Yeah, that's the last time we were able to talk to him. Was at Camp T, and he was not wearing shoes. I'm most excited to kind of gauge the Big 12 staff and players' outlook on ASU. I'm interested to hear what other coaches have to say, what other players have to say, and not just ASU, but also the newcomers. It's gonna be interesting to hear what everyone has to say about the newcomers of the conference, because we know our perspective. We've watched these teams closely, obviously Arizona State, but also all of the other Pac-12 teams that are moving. So I'm excited to hear what other people have to think.
I think I'm out of everything, obviously, kind of like you said, getting to talk to the players and coaches again is going to be great. But just to kind of see this Big 12 event, right? Because we're so used to the Pac-12 tournament, Pac-12 Media Day, and how that's been done in the past. And not to say it was done right or wrong. I think last year's Pac-12 Media Day was great outside of George Kliavkoff lying through his teeth.
Did he really lie?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go back and watch
what was the quote?
The press conference, I forget the exact quote, but I know it was a lie because literally it had come out days afterwards that it was done. And that was Dion didn't end up showing up to the Pac-12 Media Day. Like there was just so much going on last year.
That was because of medical stuff.
Yeah. That was I think you had foot surgery.
Yeah. Blood clot things.
But I think again for this specific event, like just to see how Brett Yormark and this conference have kind of set everything up. Again, we'll get to hear from Brett Yormark. I'm about to say
maybe that's what we should be most excited about. Our overlord speaking.
Yeah, our overlord. What do you call him? Big Daddy Yormark?
Yeah, he's not our overlord. He's our big daddy.
He's our big daddy. If we get him on the show, will you please call him Big Daddy?
Yes.
You will?
Yes.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Big Daddy Yormark.
I have no shame.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, this is my thing. I don't want anybody else to say that.
You call him Big Mommy? No. Big Mommy Yormark?
You can't do that.
No? Why not?
Can I call him Big Unk?
Big Unk? No, I don't think you should do that.
Shane's daddy.
Just call him Yo-Yo.
My Unk. Yo-Yo.
Much like a lot of things that happen, I have something, you guys took it and ruined it.
Big Daddy Yormark?
Yes.
I didn't say it. I've never said that. I've been anti-Big Daddy for a while.
But you just said Big Mommy.
Well, yeah, but you didn't have to call him Big Mommy.
I'm not going to.
But you ruined it. It's over now.
No, it's not. It's not over.
He just doesn't want to say it.
If we see him, you were saying, hey, Big Daddy Yormark.
No, I would have to be on the show.
Okay,
he's so casual. Just dap him up. What up, Big Daddy?
We'll see.
It's crazy. It's not.
That would be crazy.
No, there's a difference between calling somebody Big Daddy and then and calling them that's their title. They are Big Daddy Yormark.
Big Daddy Yormark.
BDY.
Okay.
Yeah, BDY.
Daddy Yormark.
Greet him as BDY.
Oh my God! Look, we are gonna have a ton of content coming out of Big 12.
Actually, no, we're not.
We're not.
It's canceled.
We're bad.
Our credentials have been revoked.
Oh, that's tough. Just that you got that email just now.
Yep.
That's a bummer. But definitely stay locked in again on the YouTube channel and on social. We'll definitely have some updates of all the upcoming content, everything that we're going to be doing over in Las Vegas next week. So definitely give us a follow at PHNX Sun Devils across social media. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review if you haven't already. You can follow me at Anthony _Totri. You can follow this guy right here at Erik Ruby. You can follow DJ Danielle at Abric Danielle across social media. We will be back Tuesday at 1:30. No show on July 4th. Just want to give everybody a heads up there. We do have JJB in the chat saying, go Devils. You can follow this guy, Dr. Danish, at Shane Dief.
Try again.
You can follow this guy right here, the son of Big Daddy Yormark, at Shane Dief.
Try again.
You can follow this guy, the fish keeper, at Shane Dief.
Excited to draft fish on my birthday on Wednesday, as always.
In the meantime, guys, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.